Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our class for National Service Training Program. And for today, we will be discussing lesson number 9, National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council and its functions, and your own function as a student of PCCR and as a student of NSTP, your role in disaster preparedness, risk reduction, and disaster management. Okay, I know that you're all ready for today's lesson, so we will begin by stating our objective. For today, we are going to identify the function of NDRRMC without the letter D and its umbrella agencies, deduce the importance of NDRRMC in nation building, and interview our DRRMC officer or staff, which I will give you during our asynchronous class. Now, for the preliminary activity, I will give you a minute to think about what are you going to do in the following scenarios. First, during and after an earthquake. You have 1 minute to think about it. Next, during and after a storm, which we experience most often here in the Philippines. You have your time to think about it. And lastly, during and after a tsunami. Although most of our coastlines are really far from where we live, but actually we have a coastline in Manila Bay. So therefore, we have to also be ready for a tsunami alert. You have your time to think about it. Not only natural disasters, we, as a Filipino country, we also face man-made disasters. These are occurrences, events, or phenomena that was created and originated from man or from the actions of people. So what are you going to do during and after a school incident, like a school shooting or a school lockdown? Okay, I know that you have been very creative, and I know that you can still remember your lessons in DRRM when you were in senior high school, or you remembered some of the public service ads from GMA or ABS-CBN while watching your favorite TV show. So keep in mind those things that will make or break you during a disaster. And it can save lives, believe me. Now, think about the following questions. What are the natural and man-made disasters you already experienced? You already experienced. What do you know about NDRRMC? And why is disaster risk reduction management training important to you as future public servants? Yes, I know that what you're thinking is correct. And we will continue to know more about NDRRMC and how are we going to be of service to our community as part of the holistic idea of NDRRMC in nation building. The Philippines is an island located in Southeast Asia in the Western Pacific Ocean. It is visited by different natural calamities such as floods, typhoons, tornadoes, earthquakes, drought, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions, which have brought many casualties in the properties and the lives of people every year. Also included are man-made incidents such as kidnapping, okay? Also hostage taking. Now, we still have health disaster like a pandemic, okay? Disaster encompasses a very large spectrum from natural to man-made to health, okay? But we are not going to define disaster as it is. We just have to know what are we going to do as to apply it to our everyday lives and to you as future public servants. To enhance the citizens' preparedness and ensure quick response to emergencies, the NDRRMC and the concerned agencies conduct regular mobilization, exercises, and drills at all levels in cooperation with the private agencies concerned and the non-government organization. In case you haven't noticed, we have what we call the NSED. Okay, it's a nationwide earthquake drill. There are 4 earthquake drill a year nationwide. I don't know if it's your barangay follows that NSED, but in public schools and other barangays, they announce the NSED and we follow. We are supposed to follow and participate in the NSED or the National Safety Education earthquake drill. Also, every March we have what we call the Fire Month, wherein fire volunteers go around every barangay to conduct a webinar or make a public service announcement regarding how to lower down the risk of fire incidents. So that would be for national and local government. NDRRMC, or the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, formerly known as the National Disaster Coordinating Council, is a working group of various government, non-government, civil sector, and private sector organizations of the government of the Republic of the Philippines, established under and enacted under the Republic Act 10121 of 2010. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council which I repeat. So NDRRMC was established under a Republic Act, which is a law during 2010. And up until now, I think we have been prepared for a lot of disasters that came our way. Although we cannot really predict when a disaster would come, okay, and the RRMC is always there to support, okay, our fellow Filipinos during a disaster. But I would like to see them support preparation for a disaster rather than supporting during and after the disaster. Diba? So the functions of NDRRMC are as follow. NDRRMC acts as the main institution, not in Mauritius, sorry, in the Philippines for coordinating and monitoring the implementation of disaster risk reduction and management activities as per the National Strategic Framework and National Plan. NDRRMC ensures the implementation of the National Strategic Framework and National Plan. NDRRMC coordinates and monitors all disaster risk reduction and management activities. NDRRMC coordinates and monitors the implementation of the disaster risk reduction and management programs through community participation and public awareness campaigns. It works in close collaboration with the it's Pag-asa, which shall develop and improve warnings and advisory systems for all natural hazards affecting the Philippines. So you have to remove the Mauritius part. It's supposed to be Philippines. I do not know what's happening to me that I put Mauritius there. Maybe I was thinking about the Miss Universe beauty pageant, which is closely coming, and Miss Mauritius is a beautiful contestant. So ayun, sorry, that's Pag-asa. NDRRMC supports ministries, government departments, local authorities, and communities in building capacity for disaster risk reduction and management. NDRRMC facilitates and coordinates the conduct of regular trainings, drills, and simulation exercises to test the adequacy of disaster response plans. NDRRMC undertake and participate in post-disaster reviews, including lessons drawn from previous disasters in disaster preparedness and response plans. So NDRRMC is a learning agency in the government. It shall assist relevant stakeholders to develop an appropriate risk transfer mechanism for post-disaster recovery and rehabilitation purposes, collaborate with all relevant stakeholders so that disaster risk reduction and management become an integral objective of environment-related policies and plans. Sound land use planning, natural resources management, education and social development plans, economic and sectoral policies, as well as infrastructure through enforcement of building codes. NDRRMC should also foster regional and international cooperation in disaster risk reduction management issues, including best practices and sharing of expertise. It promotes research and development and commission studies on disaster risk reduction and management matters, and publish and disseminate information concerning disaster risk reduction and management. So those are the functions of NDRRMC. If you're going to look at it, to summarize it all up, it involves public information, it involves supports, it involves research, it involves management, it involves rehabilitation. So everything that we need to prepare, to support, to rehabilitate during, before, and after a disaster. These are the following agencies that are part of the umbrella agencies of NDRRMC, which help the agency to become more sufficient and more efficient, okay, in addressing disaster risk management. The following are NDD, DNDOCD, DILG, DSWD, DOST, NEDA, and other private and non-government organizations. With that being said, I would like you to find out the meaning of each departments on your screen. That will be part of a quiz that I will give you. So, as a student, you have a contribution in disaster management, because all non-disabled young citizens of the land should get involved in civic actions in the community where they live and should be ready to render assistance anywhere and anytime their service is needed. More than anything else, it is everybody's moral obligation to assist their countrymen in distress. Di ba nga? One of our core value in PCCR is leadership and responsibility and accountability. In times of natural calamities or manufactured disorders, the youth should be willing and ready to render direct assistance to calamity victims in any of the following areas. You can volunteer as a civic in civic action activities like environmental and ecological protection, river and watershed control projects, and tree planting or forest fire control. Monitoring and liaisoning work, serving of affected families and areas, disseminating information to concerned individual, comforting and assisting in their rehabilitation, and administering first aid treatment on victims, and especially sorting, loading, and distribution of relief goods. I have been volunteers in sorting, loading, and distribution of relief goods for many disasters already. It's a feeling that you cannot ignore. It's when you do such things in helping your fellow men, okay, to rehabilitate themselves after a disaster. It's a great feeling. It's not that you're feeling that you're blessed. It's not that you're feeling that you're better than them because you survived a disaster. It's just that it's an ecstatic, it's a feeling that you cannot explain, but you feel really good. Not only towards yourself, but towards others also. Okay? I hope everyone, wag naman sana magkaroon ng disaster, pero I hope everyone, if the time comes, okay, that you are needed, hindi kailangan sabihin sa'yo that you are needed, you will feel that you are needed by the community. Go and volunteer. Youth development agencies coordinating during and after every disaster. Likewise, the concerned youth development agencies should establish coordination and linkages to be set up before, during, and after every disaster. In Manila, we have the Youth Commission, okay, under the City Government of Manila. By using the NDRRMC operational model, the leadership in the youth development agencies, in order to succeed in their chosen endeavor, should, ano pa example ng youth development agency? Boy Scout, okay, Rotarac, yung mga volunteers, students ng Rotary, the Rotary Club of the Philippines. Iba't iba kasi yung Rotary Club eh. So pero most of the time may youth commission naman or youth agency ang local government. So sabi ko nga sa Manila meron tayong tinatawag na youth council. So here's what those youth development organizations should do. Plan the chosen activities ahead before any calamity strikes. Join or participate in training exercises on disaster and relief operations. See to it that the resources that are available could meet the needs of chosen activities. Coordinate all activities properly with the city, provincial, and municipal disaster coordinator councils. Organize the group, assign the members responsibilities which they feel they can properly handle. Confidence in what one is doing is the key to success. Let them be responsible and trust in them. Because when the time, during the difficult times of helping other people, a person knows what to do. So you have to trust in them. Trust in the goodness of the heart of your members or your group mates. Work as a team, coordinate efforts with other organizations like an NGO, a public office, LGU, or religious organizations. So as an NSTP student, you have to involve yourself as a youth in disaster preparedness and recovery efforts. Youth serving agencies can help to not only increase youth awareness of particular hazards, but can also enhance the chance that they openly discuss how to adequately protect their families and loved ones and understand how to seek help should their community be affected. NSTP students can play a range of roles in youth preparedness programs and play a crucial role in recovery efforts. They may assist communities in mapping their risk and the protective factors or may hold leadership positions within the programs. Some additional roles include sharing the message. NSTP students can help share the message of disaster preparedness using social media and other platforms for communication. This is a vital action that we all need to normalize. Kapag nagkakaroon ng earthquake, minsan nagagalit kayo. Oo, alam namin may lindol. Oo, alam namin may ganyan. Oo, alam namin ganon. Pero nagagalit kayo sa mga nagpo-post, ay, lumindol. Oh, lumindol. No. Let us normalize people posting that an earthquake happened. Bakit? First of all, that's an information to the loved ones of those who posted na safe sila. So pag nakita mo nag-post yung kaibigan mo, yung kamag-anak mo, nag-post sila, ay lumindol, you know that they're safe. Pangalawa, it's an information for other communities and other parts of the Philippines that were not affected by the earthquake. Okay? Mas mabilis kasi sa social media, pag may nag-post, so kahit saan sa Pilipinas na may kaibigan kayo, alam nila kagad na doon sa lugar na yun nag-earthquake. It's an information drive. So let's normalize that. Huwag nating i-bash. Okay? Also, share nyo. You have to like the page of NDRRMC and you can share information regarding that. That small action can help a lot. 2, acting as change makers. NSTP youth can act as change makers by sharing information they learned in NSTP preparedness programs and helping parents and communities to prepare for disaster, for example, by developing a disaster plan or disaster preparation kit. Sa bahay, alam namin kung saan kayo pupunta. Kapag pag nagkaroon ng big one, alam namin sa bahay namin kung saan kami makikita. Naka-ready na sa isang bag lahat ng kailangan naming kunin, malapit sa may pinto namin. So, as an NSTP student, you should also be prepared for those kinds of things. Lahat ng importanteng dokumento sa isang bag lang. So, kahit anong disaster yan, isang hila mo lang, nandun na lahat. Okay? Share the information, not only to your loved ones, but also to everyone. And bringing creativity. Students use NSTP CWTS components can bring creative and resourceful ideas to disaster preparedness efforts by the help of different trainings and seminars from NDRRMC and PCCR. Maybe we could ask PCCR and the whole NSTP team to conduct disaster preparedness seminar. Actually, just to tell you, I am an author of a disaster risk reduction book for senior high school and the current DRRM coordinator for our school at Manuel L. Quezon Senior High School in Abad Santos Tondo. So one of the programs that we have at school is that we conduct seminars for disaster risk reduction to our students and parents and teachers also. So disaster will happen in a blink of an eye. So wala naman makaka-predict except for storm siguro, because there's a prediction for storm, for earthquake and other natural disasters and man-made disasters that we cannot predict. So giving information and knowing things would be a great help to you and to your community. Sabi nga ni Benjamin Franklin, kung di ako nagkakamali, I don't know if it's Benjamin Franklin or Thomas Jefferson, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. It's the same as with disaster. If you fail to prepare, be prepared to fail. So with that being said, do you have any question, comment, or discipline reaction? So, alam ko wala na. Alam ko naintindihan nyo. And with that, I'm going to see you again next meeting. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something today, and always keep safe. Goodbye, everyone.